In January 1959, the Soviet Union was a land of harsh winters and even harsher secrets. That year, 9 experienced cross-country skiers, all students or graduates of the Ural Polytechnical Institute, embarked on a Grade 3 expedition, the most difficult of its kind, led by 23-year-old Igor Dyatlov. Their goal was the summit of Mount Oterten, translating ominously from the local Mansi language to "Don't go there." On January 27th, after one member, Yuri Yudin, turned back due to illness, a decision that saved his life, the remaining 9 pushed deeper into the frigid wilderness. The last entry in their collective diary was made on February 1st. They had been slowed by weather and visibility, forcing them to set up camp high on the slopes of Kholat Shakal, the dead mountain. The photos they took that night show them preparing for dinner, seemingly calm, settling down for a final night. But sometime between 9 and 11 p.m., something, a force so terrifying it defied all logic, compelled these seasoned explorers to abandon their only refuge. On February 26th, search teams located their abandoned tent. The site was immediately chilling. It was half collapsed, covered in snow, and had been violently slashed open from the inside. All their food, winter boots, fur coats, and survival equipment were neatly stowed away inside. No animal and no intruder would have allowed the victims to make such a clean, frantic exit. Investigators found a chain of 8 or 9 sets of footprints leading downhill toward a dense pine forest a mile away. Crucially, the prints indicated the hikers were wearing only socks, one boot, or were completely barefoot in temperatures dropping to -22 degrees Fahrenheit, -30 Celsius. The footprints led to the first shocking discovery. 2 bodies, Krivonyshenko and Doroshenko, were found by the remnants of a small, pathetic fire beneath a large cedar tree. They were wearing only underwear. Their hands were badly lacerated, covered in pine needles, suggesting they had desperately tried to climb the tree. Their mission seemed to have been to collect wood, but they died of hypothermia right there. The bodies of Dyatlov, Kolmogorova, and Slobodin were scattered in a line between the cedar tree and the tent, suggesting they died trying to return to their only source of warmth. Slobodin had a small crack in his skull, an injury that was almost certainly fatal, yet the first 5 deaths were officially ruled as hypothermia. The mystery deepened because the most bizarre injuries were yet to come. It took 2 more months until May 1959 for the remaining 4 hikers to be found, buried under 13 feet of snow in a ravine over 250 feet further into the woods. These 4, Dubinina, Zolotaryov, Thibaut Brignol, and Kolovatov, had died from massive, unexplained trauma, not hypothermia. The autopsy report was terrifying. Thibaut Brignol had a fractured skull. Both Zolotaryov and Dubinina had crushed ribs and chest injuries comparable to the force of a severe car crash. Yet there was no external bruising to the soft tissue, leading investigators to conclude they were crushed by an immense pressure. But the most infamous discovery belonged to Lyudmila Dubinina. She was found kneeling, face down, in the running water of the creek. She was missing her tongue, eyes, and parts of her lips. The medical examiner ruled the damage was likely done post-mortem by scavenging animals, but later evidence suggested the severity of the removal was too precise for simple scavenging. Adding to the bizarre nature of the scene, 2 of the victims' clothes showed traces of high-level radiation. This discovery, coupled with official reports of the team's bodies being found with an unusual orange/red hue, forced the Soviet authorities to close the case, officially stating the hikers were killed by a compelling natural force. The compelling natural force conclusion was a smokescreen. To this day, the incident remains the world's most baffling unsolved mystery, spawning countless theories. The most recent official explanation is a rare slab avalanche. The idea is that a block of heavy snow slid onto the tent, causing the internal injuries and forcing the group to flee. However, this theory fails to explain why there were visible footprints, why the tent was cut from the inside, or the intense, precise nature of Lyudmila's injuries. Other theories are far darker. The military theory suggests the hikers stumbled upon a secret Soviet test site. The crushed ribs and fractured skulls were a result of a concussive blast from a missile test, and the radiation was fallout. This aligns with later reports from locals claiming to have seen orange spheres of light floating over the mountain the night of the incident. Whether it was an act of a secret government, a rare natural phenomenon, or something truly alien, the truth of Dyatlov Pass remains buried deep in the ice. 9 lives were lost to an overwhelming force that no one could survive, and the question remains, what made them run?